So I'm a little bit late to the party on the news that's gone out in the last 12 hours, but unfortunately I've been getting stuck into the metaverse. And I can tell you honestly, playing WoW in VR is absolutely mind-blowing. Mind-blowing's a bit extreme, but anyway, that's not what you're here for. So we've had a few little updates which I want to talk about. The biggest one is the Season 4 gear that's been discounted, but I recently spoke about sparkles on quest objectives. And it honestly is one of those things that you don't miss until it's not there. And it was actually meant to be added during TBC anyway, but it's now in the game and it makes life a lot easier. Now, whilst there's still no in-game quest helper, just some of these quest items sparkling so they get your attention and they're a little bit easier to find is definitely going to be a welcome change. Although it's not really a change, it's just something that should be here. If you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, then if we go over to get Kiara's apples over here, this bowl's sparkling like a good one, so you know this is the item in the house that you're trying to get. So that's the first change, nothing really to write home about. The next change is actually quite good and one that I was starting to debate whether it was going to be a thing or not, if I'm honest. So summoning inside dungeons. So warlocks can now use Ritual of Summoning to summon players outside of a dungeon into the dungeon directly. Whilst this hasn't been possible in previous versions of Classic, it was part of the original Wrath of the Lich King as it was added in patch 2.4 near the end of Burning Crusade. So again, nothing major, but it is a really good change. So if you was wondering, you've not been able to do it on the beta, are you going to be able to do it on live? Yes, you are. So it does save time. If you're there and you need a replacement and you've got a warlock in the group, someone's DC'd or whatever, it's going to be bad enough with no random dungeon finder to automatically find you someone. At least now, if you, as I say, only if you've got a warlock, it's going to be relevant, but you can find someone and then summon them into the dungeon. And now, quite honestly, the big one. Season 4 Brutal Gladiator PvP gear has been discounted, and it's not only been discounted, it's actually cheaper than Vengeful gear now. Let me show you. So like you can see, there's a massive crowd of people here all looking at how cheap they're going to be able to get all their catch-up gear. So the chest plates now are 9.5k where there was 15k before, so that's quite a reduction. The gloves are now 7.6k. And this is actually the thing that makes me laugh. I know it's going to change, but still, we can look at it and laugh for the time being. The gloves are 7.6k for Brutal, or Vengeful, which are not as good, are 9k, and the chests and the head and everything's 13k. So actually, the best items are now the cheapest items. And like you can see on the screen here, instead of getting less than 200 honour in Warsong Gulch or AB, you can see 1k or 2k. I think around 1,000 is realistic. I've been looking around at people that have been PvPing on the PTR, and trust me, in the last video I talked about these items and you were like, oh yeah, just get honor capped. It's not as big a deal as you think. You're talking 1 to 2 days of solid PvP, and you'll probably have all of this, which for fresh servers is obviously very good news. So as I say, you're talking 9.5k for all the primary pieces like the legs, the chest, the head, 7,600 for the gloves and the shoulders, and now the weapons. The big two-handers are 19k, which is still expensive, but achievable. The one-handers are 9.5k, and that's the same for all weapon types. The main and spell power weapons are 14,250, and that's because your offhands are obviously very cheap, only being 4,750. So if you're someone who can use an offhand, as soon as you ding 70 either on fresh servers or if you're gearing an ult, you're going to be able to get some gear very quick, including the spell power shield, for example, which is only 4,750. So I don't want to drag this out any longer than I need to, so hopefully you enjoyed the update. I know there's loads of people that have already made this video because, yeah, as I say, I've been immersed into a virtual reality. Absolutely loving it, by the way. I'll probably do some streaming on the VR headset, doing some WoW, but also playing other games over the next couple of days. So be sure to follow me on Scottejaye87 over on Twitch. Links in the description. Like and subscribe for loads more Wrath content, and roll the outro. There's lots of ways you can support the channel to keep me here putting out World of Warcraft content and covering all future MMOs. Consider joining the channel as a member. You get access to emotes, everyone will know you're a member when you comment on future videos because you get a nice icon next to your name, and you get access to members only videos, which I'll be putting a lot of on the channel throughout the year. Additionally, there's a Patreon link in the description as well. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you on the next one.